And in the top left corner, we have the Blueser currently up 1-0 from a dirty 8 pool. We have Crayon.
And spawning in the bottom right position, representing Invasion Esports, we have the yellow Zerg player, PandaBearMe.
All right, we're going to see in this game what these two players decide to do. Crayon again is not deciding the 8 pool again, which is probably a good decision. It would have been, it's that build, any though this is cross spawn and PandaBearMe wouldn't see it really late, I don't think it would even be good on this map because the cross spawn rush distance is so slow that slow lings wouldn't really make it across, I think, in time. Like, his drones would be able to deal with it pretty well. So,
yeah. The funny part to this is that this is the first time in Iron Fortress that they got cross spawn, and this is both the time where they lost against JonSnow. With the Roach Bane all in. So I wonder if one of them is going to adapt and do that, or they're going to stick to their guns. We saw from both PandaBearMe likes to go for that quick spire. Crown likes to play a little bit safe, you know, the lean bling pressure slash counterattacking, and then go into spire. So we'll see how they want to work it out. But cross spawn right now, they're going to find out, and there's early pull from PandaBearMe and from Crown. So we both know that they don't want to lose anything cheesy.
Yeah, I'm glad PandaBearMe is deciding to do this. He kind of, like, needs to. Like, any though, you know, Crayon isn't cheesing this game. Like, he doesn't want to risk just losing 2-0 to Crayon just from, like, you know, really early Zergling attacks. So, he's going to play safe, and I think this is a good decision. He's also going for the 15 hatch right there. He's probably going to grab a gas soon because I think PandaBearMe will probably go for that early spire again because I don't think Crayon has shown like a tendency to really like do a hardcore 2-base all-in. He seems to either cheese really early or do some sort of defensive play in the mid game. So I think PandaBearMe is going to identify that and probably be like, okay, I can go for my fast spire, and if Crayon decides to go spire, he'll probably have it later than me, just based on his tendencies in the previous game. Crayon is currently delaying his gas while PandaBearMe took it a little bit earlier. It's not going to make that much of a difference. PandaBearMe will have speed slightly faster, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference on this really big map.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward game right now. Both aren't taking too many big risks, knowing that that their RSL careers on the line pretty much. And they both probably are thinking, like, oh, I lost their Roach Bane on this map. I can't let that happen again. But they do figure out it's cross spawn. I think it's going to be like a Muta versus Muta war, if I had to guess.
I think so too, especially on cross spawn. Mutas move so fast, it's really useful to have them, especially since you can defend your opponent's Mutas with some Spore Crawlers, right? So your defending is not necessarily straightforward, but it's definitely something that's possible to do. And since you're cross-spawn, roaches will take a long time to get across the map, so roach pressure isn't as strong as it was in the other matchups versus JonSnow, because JonSnow got his, I think in one game a vertical spawn and the other game a horizontal spawn.
Exactly.
So in both those scenarios, his build was really, really good. But in this cross-spawn scenario, like, you have plenty of time to see the roaches, you have plenty of time to build roaches yourself and set up defenses, and it takes a long time for reinforcements to arrive, so you have a really strong defender's advantage on ground. In air with Muta, they're not like deterred by any terrain, and the fact that they move so fast, the fact that they're cross spawn only helps the fact that it's easier to get to them because they're a higher tech unit. We're seeing PandaBearMe go for the safety Baneling Nest along with his speed, so he wants to make sure he doesn't die early, and Crayon's going for a early Spine Crawler to make sure he doesn't die early. So they're both being really safe in slightly different ways, but safe.
Yeah, and you can see that PandaBearMe is doing the same thing he did against JonSnow. Knowing it's cross-spawn, I think he feels a little bit more safer, especially since he has the lings at Crown's base, knowing that if he moves out, he's going to be able to stay. He's actually going to get a scout that's actually pretty huge right now, but he's going to go to that quick spire, and he sees no layer from Crown. He's got to be feeling pretty happy right now where he's at.
Yeah, and he even sees the Baneling Nest, and he sees the fact that Crayon's building a spine at the front, which is actually really big. That's a big indication that Crayon is planning to play defensive and not really aggressive. So that allows PandaBearMe to be a little bit greedier and understands, like, okay, I can actually make a few more drones than normally here because he's, you know, dedicating to static defense. So I can kind of sit back and make sure I can get these mutas. Crayon's speech just came in, and he's going to try to get a scout in, and he's not able to be denied, so he's going to see exactly what PandaBearMe is probably deciding to do. He sees the lair finish this early, so that can only really mean mutas.
Crown's gonna go for that roach pressure instead of going for the mutas, knowing that the Spire is gonna be up. It's gonna be whether PandaBearMe can defend this or not. This is just like it's happened over and over again with JonSnow. Like, can he hold off this roach pressure?
Yeah, and it's gonna be really difficult, especially since Crayon knows it's Muta, right? He has this big window of opportunity to do a lot of damage, and he's gonna scout that third base. This is gonna make him pretty happy. There's links streaming across to Crayon's base. Oh no, but they're coming back to defend that third because PandaBearMe definitely does not want to lose that.
You do not want that to cancel. If you get that canceled, it's a big deal right now.
Yeah. PandaBearMe is building banelings outside of Cran's base, but Cran sees it with his queen, which is really big. The banelings have to back off. He gets a baneling for free with the queen, but the queen does get surrounded by some lings, which is really bad for the queen. Up, and maybe he can get him. Nope, those two banelings are not going to get good connections as of yet. They're actually both going to die to just two lings. And PandaBearMe goes into Craion's base.
Yeah, and this is actually a pretty big deal. Any kind of production you can halter, whether it's queens, whether it's a couple of drones, is a big deal. He gets one queen, he's gonna get a drone. No, he doesn't get a drone for that. But like, this is the time Crayon needs to be on the opposite end. It needs to be flipped. Crayon needs to be at PandaBearMe's base. The mutas are out, and they got to be out, like literally for free. Like, there's no aggression coming on to PandaBearMe. And
I think yeah, and he might be able to get a cancel on this hatchery if he's got. No, he's gonna back off because there's too many roaches. And he's just gonna position. He's gonna keep Crayon back at home just so he can get enough mutas. And this is gonna be really hard for Crayon because it's really difficult after there's a decent amount of mutas to put on pressure with the roaches because there's gonna be these counterattacks from the mutas. There's gonna be ling run bys, and if you try to commit, then the mutas can come back. And once there's enough mutas, they actually deal with roaches pretty well. So Crayon's going to have to try to think of some sort of transition to be able to deal with these mutas, and he's going to probably need a few spore crawlers soon.
I think Crayon's in a really bad position right now. I think he's using one control group or something like that, because just one, like those 10 lings that went to the main, all of Crayon's army went to the main. So I think PandaBearMe is just going to be able to out-multitask Crayon, and Crayon needs to learn how to split up his army right now. But the muta's already out. Like, this
he's going to take free damage on the roaches, and they're just going to push them back home, and Crayon's not going to be able to have enough roaches to kill. I don't think he's going to have enough to be able to kill PandaBearMe, and he gets supply blocked.
Yeah, he's going to kill all these roaches. Like, they're not going to get anything done. They might get a couple of drones or whatnot, but that's it.
Yeah, and he's already losing a decent amount of roaches right here. He's lost 7 so far, and there's more mutas and spine crawlers here. He's going to try to go for the third, but there's here lings that add to the DPS, and these roaches aren't returning any right now. They're going to go, and they're not going to do anything here.
This is game ending. Like, you won't even get the third hatch. This is pretty much the worst case scenario for Crayon.
He is splitting off some lings, and those lings won't be able to do anything because there are spine crawlers in position. The mutas are on their way across the other side of the map, and PandaBearMe is splitting off his lings to come defend this counterattack from Crayon, and PandaBearMe is going to go and straight kill off these overlords, which is pretty big.
I mean, he's just crippling him bit by bit, and he can honestly push in right now. There's no spore. There's no spore crawler. And that's just GG.
PandaBearMe ties it up with Crayon 1-1, so we're going to get into the last game of this best of 3 and the last series of Group C and see who advances to the round of 8. Yeah, so I think, I'm wondering what kind of like